Welcome back to this Tally training session. So we have seen how to create a company, how to create a ledger, what is grouping, how to create stock item, and then we have started with the understanding the different voucher type. So any doubt till now, first we'll take any doubt session we'll take. Did you try creating a company? Did you try creating a ledger? Did you try creating a stock item with the units, ledger with the groups, and opening balance? Yes or no? Anyone facing any difficulty to create the ledgers, create the stock item? See, unless and until you don't know how to create the ledgers, create the stock item, you cannot proceed further with the voucher entry. So this is very important aspect. Fine. Last week I have given one homework. What was the homework? What homework did I give? No reply. I have asked you to create a list of stock item with the groupings and the company name and create a ledger. Did you create? How many of you created? How many of you created? Type yes in the chat box. See, one thing you need to understand that Tally is a practical subject. Unless and until you don't do it practically, you will never be able to learn it. Here, practically, you have a certain project, a live project, that is your printing and stationery project. So you have details in hand. Unless and until you don't try, you will not be able to understand it. So it is very important that practical aspect of anything is very important. Theoretical knowledge is required, but theory with practice will only make you perfect. So it is very important that try. So a lot of things are there, even your account sums are there. You can create a company, try to create the ledgers, try to pass the entries, final accounts questions are there. So that also you can create. So there are many options available. So, okay, once again, we will go with the steps. What is the first step in Tally? What is the first step in Tally? What is the first step in Tally? Create a company. Very good. Second step. What is second step in Tally? Creation of ledger. So creation of ledger, what are the two things you have to be careful about? Creation of ledger, you have to be careful about the grouping. Very important aspect. Based on the grouping only, where this ledger will go and check whether it is your balance sheet or your P&L, where it will go and be displayed. That will be decided. Second important aspect. One is grouping. Second aspect is, what is second aspect of ledger creation? If it is an existing company, then that aspect will come. What is that? Yes, opening balance. Very good. So opening balance, you have to feed if there is a existing company. Otherwise, only ledger creation needs to be done. Then what is the next step? What is the next step? Creation of stock item. So in creation of stock item, what you will provide? What are again two things which are important? What are the two things? Three things, actually, three items which are important. One is stock group. Yes, very good. So based on the product, you create a stock group. And also something about stock category also I mentioned, but now not required. We will go only with group. Yes, very good. Unit is very important. Unless and until you don't put the measurement unit in the voucher entry, your quantity will not appear. So only unless and until you don't provide your measurement unit, your quantity will not appear. So this is very important part. And then the third part in case of existing company, yeah, grouping or stock we have already spoken. Third part, in case of existing company, what do we have? Additional detail. That is opening stock. So if you have opening balance, so that opening balance needs to be provided. One more thing we have seen is valuation method. That is FIFO method you have to provide. So these are things we have seen. So we have something seen about voucher type. Yes. Did we see last week voucher type? Yes or no? Voucher type. Yes. So what are the different voucher types which I have explained? What are the different voucher types which I have explained? Credit, debit, no. Payment, yes. Payment, invoice, that is sales, okay. Receipt, okay. Credit note, debit note, that is sales return, purchase return, very good. Then cash memo is your receipt of payment. Journal, yes, journal is there. So voucher type, if you see specifically fixed voucher type, one is your sales, wherever sales entry you pass, whether it is cash sales or credit sales, you pass in the sales entry. Same way, whatever purchase you make, where do you pass? Whatever purchase you make, you pass in the purchase voucher type. If you are making payment to anyone, see one important thing what you need to understand here is, if I am making a payment for credit purchase, it will come in purchase or payment. If I am making a payment for credit purchase, whether it will come in purchase or payment. I am making payment for credit voucher, credit purchase, not the purchase entry. I am talking about the payment for credit purchase. Yes, payment. So there is a difference. Means payment for credit purchase means you purchase on a particular day. Payment will be made in a future date or the same date also. That is by check. Okay. So purchase and sales, you have to be very, very careful. I make a cash purchase. Where will you pass the entry? I make a cash purchase. Where will you pass the entry? Cash purchase or bank purchase or GPay or anything. Whether it is payment or purchase. Whether it is payment or purchase. It is purchase. So you have to see the higher side. So expenses means then payment. I am making a payment for expenses. Then it is a payment. If I am buying any stock, then it will come as a purchase, whether it is cash purchase or credit purchase. What do you mean by credit purchase? Credit purchase means you don't make the payment immediately. But in GST, if you see whatever purchases are there, all the entries, all the purchases, 2 entries minimum. One is your purchase entry. One is your purchase entry. That means debit the purchase, credit the party. In the purchase, we provide the stock details along with the value. Then payment to the party. Then payment to the party. Then payment to the party. See, cash sales, cash purchase, credits. So cash sales, credit sales, cash purchase, credit purchase. You have to be understanding, very, very important. There is a very thin line of difference between payment and cash purchase. Now, if payment means what? I am buying any goods. It is a payment only. Say I am buying stationery from XYZ company. Then I am making cash and then buying the goods immediately. That means what? It is a payment only. But what is the bigger concept? Whether it is an expense or my stock inward. If it is an expense, yes, then it is a payment. If it is my stock inward, then what? Then it is a purchase. So only one question what you need to ask is, when you are making a cash payment of any purchase or any expense, whether that purchase will be added to my stock or whether it will be an expense. If it is added to my stock, then you have to pass a purchase entry, not a payment entry. If it is any expense or any payment to creditor, then it is a payment only. You will see some example, you will be able to understand it. Same way, cash sales. So cash sales also, it is a receipt, but you should not pass in your receipt you should pass in your sales entry. You should pass in your sales entry. Why sales entry? Because then only your stock will be passed. Otherwise, stock entry you will not be able to pass. So cash sales, cash purchase. Cash sales will come only in sales voucher type. Cash purchase will come in only in cash purchase. Credit purchase will come in purchase. Credit sales will come in sales. So payment other than cash purchase, whatever payment you make, it will make in payment. Other than cash sales, whatever receipt you receive, it is a receipt. Is it clear? Is it clear? We will see some example, you will be able to understand. So only theoretical part I am taking now. So if you see receipt payment, that is your cash receipt or bank receipt. That is receipt and payment. Then your sales purchase. Receipt, payment, sales, purchase. Then your contra entry. Whenever you deposit cash in bank or withdraw from bank or deposit from one bank to another bank, that is interbank transfer, or petty cash to main cash. So that is also contra entry. So whenever bank to bank, cash to bank, bank to cash is involved, then you will use contra entry. Third part is the journal entry. Wherever there is no cash or bank involved, whenever you pass any entries where no cash or bank is involved, other than cash purchase or cash sales, other than credit purchase or credit sales, you will pass a journal entry. So in journal, what are the entries you are going to pass? Where neither the cash nor the credit ledger, nor the cash or bank ledger will appear. Any entry where non-cash, non-bank entry appears, there it will come to the journal entry. Now, what is the journal entry? Journal entry means any entry where cash and bank is not involved and it does not involve credit sales or credit purchase. Can someone give me an entry of depreciation? Can someone, someone give me an entry of journal? Any entry of a journal entry? See, in your theoretical part, journal entry means everything. It will include sales, it will include purchase, it will include receipt, it will include sales, everything will be included. But in accounts, real life accounts, journal entry means non-cash, non-bank entries. Very good. Depreciation to fixed asset, that by slip of tongue I have given depreciation, so you got it. Any other entry, right? Now I see Mohan to machinery, very good. Or machinery to Mohan. Mohan to machinery or machinery to Mohan. See, machinery is a purchase. If you make a machinery credit purchase, it is not your purchase, but it's your fixed asset purchase. So machinery you are buying from Mohan, then Mohan to purchase. Okay, any other example? Sorry, machinery to Mohan. Any other example? Same way, okay, assets to the credit purchase of asset. Furniture to capital, okay. You are selling to Mohan, okay. Any other example? Think any other example where cash and bank is not involved. Neither it is a credit purchase nor credit sales. Drawings account, bank is involved. Drawings account, cash or bank is involved. Think. If you give any discount, what entry will pass? If you are giving any discount, is it a journal entry? If you are giving a discount, is it a journal entry? Yes or no? Yes. Discount is a journal entry. Yes. Profit or loss is a journal entry. You transfer from one party to another party, journal entry. Credit purchase of expenses, journal entry. Credit purchase of expenses, journal entry. So understood now? So any entry where cash and bank is not involved, credit sales, credit purchase is not involved, it will come under journal entry. Okay, very good. So now you have understood the concept. So what are the different? Receipt, payment, sales, purchase, contra, journal. You should be very, very clear. In receipt, what are all the entries you will get? Any cash receipt, bank receipt, other than sales. other than cash sales. Any, then in payment, what are the entries you will get? Bank payment, cash payment. Now payment involves bank means what? Is GPay bank? Is GPay bank? Is UPI bank? Is Paytm bank? Yes. Nowadays it is everything is bank, digital banking. So any bank payment, it will come in payment other than what? Other than your cash purchase. Either bank payment or cash payment will come in payment other than your cash purchase. Then in invoice, in sales, what entry you will get? Cash sales, credit sales, you will pass in cash sales, credit sales. But you have to be careful while passing the cash sales, credit sales. Your stock outward should be provided. When you make a sale, there is an outward of stock that should be provided. Excuse me. Then your purchase. So when you make a purchase, cash purchase, credit purchase, inward of stock should be recorded. So now you understood, you pass a purchase entry, your inward of stock is also updated. And when you make a sale entry, outward of stock is made and automatically you will get the closing stock. Contra entry, any cash to cash, bank to cash, bank to cash, bank to bank, all the bank and cash related entry will come to contra entry. And then you get your journal entry, non-cash entry, non-bank entry, other than credit sales, credit purchase will come in journal entry. That's it. Entries are 1d6 category. Don't put too much of your mind and understanding things. So this is the way entries is found out. So one secret to pass the entries correctly. First step, look at the transaction. First step, look at the transaction. Every transaction will have how many ledgers? Every transaction will have how many ledgers? Yes, 2. So first step, whenever an entry is given, look at the transaction. Classify. Second step. See, follow the step correctly. Okay, step 1. Look at the transaction. Step 2, you can make a note. Step 1, identify the transaction. Step 2, date of transaction. Step 2 is date of transaction. So follow the same order every time. It will be very easy for you to remember. Already I have explained the power of subconscious mind. Always follow in the same order. Passing the voucher entry. Without you knowing, after 1 or 2 years daily if you are trying or regularly if you are trying, without you knowing, automatically first you will go to date, then you will go to the ledger voucher type, then you will go to the ledgers, then the amount, automatically your mind will work. So what is step 1? Identify the transaction. Step 2, date of the transaction. Third step, what is third step? What is third step? Tell me. I have given some hint before. What will be a third step? No. Identify the voucher type you have to pass. Identify the voucher type. You have identified the transaction, provided the date. Now, what is that transaction voucher type? Whether it is a receipt, whether it is a payment, whether it is a sales, whether it is a purchase, whether it is a journal, whether it is a contra. So you need to identify that. Okay, understood? Yes. Then next step, identify the voucher type, select the voucher type. So step 1, identify the transaction. Step 2, provide the date. Step 3, select the voucher type. So select the voucher type. Step 4, pass the voucher entry. Pass the voucher entry. That is, 2 ledgers are always involved. What to debit, what to credit, that I'll show you how to identify without remembering what to debit and credit. Okay. So if you are confused with the generalization in Tally, certain tips I will give you so that if you are getting confused, you can identify how to provide it. Right. So then we provide the narration. Provide the narration. Step 5 is provide the narration. Step 6 is save the data. Right. So 6 steps of voucher entry. Step 1. What is step 1? Type. Step 1, identifying the transaction. Step 2, see the date and pass the date. Step 3. Step 3. Step 3, select type of voucher type. Select the voucher type. Very good. Step 4. Step 4, pass the entry debit or credit to ledgers. So in any transaction, there may be one debit, one credit, or one debit, multiple credit, or one credit, multiple debit. Yes. So pass the voucher entry. Step 5. Step 5, narration. Provide the narration. Step 6. Step 6. Step 6, save the data. That's it. So these 6 steps follow the same order. Always the order. Your mind should work in a fixed order. Whenever you are studying, whenever you are trying to remember something, if you are facing difficulty in remembering a tedious problem or remembering the various points of any question, then try to remember in the same order. What we do is, say for example, advantages of GST or any topic, some advantages. We try to remember in the different order. We don't follow the same order. First time we will remember the first point. Second time we will try to remember third point first. Third time we will try to remember the 7th point first. No. Always remember in the same order. Then only your mind will understand faster. If you try to change, your mind will get confused. Now in this, if I say you first do the step 3, you will get confused. So if you follow the steps, whether in life or wherever it is, I follow the same method and I find it very difficult. Otherwise, remembering for me also becomes difficult. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Initially, it may take some time, but over the period of time, it becomes automated. So, right. So understood these steps. Any doubt? Shall we proceed further? Shall we proceed further? Yes, fine. Before the proceeding further, I think some instructions has been given to the school regarding the project, regarding this Vidya Saadhan project. So I will just explain you this instruction. Maybe they might have provided to you or they will provide. So since the training has been conducted and almost those who are in charge, now they at least know how to create till the stock item and ledger creation. So these process should be started. So first, all the children in each school need to update the tally with that daily transaction. So you have to create one tally. So when you create a tally, what is the company name you have to give? So the company name will be first 4 digit of your school code. That is, say BMGP or MGNR, whatever is the first 4 digit is your school code, and then hyphen Vidya Saadhan 22. Vidya Saadhan 22. This way you need to create a company. The school will provide you all the infrastructure for the tally purpose, passing the entry, all those things will be done. So you need to create the company with your school name and the project Vidya Saadhan 22. You should create all the ledgers and grouping. So here I would suggest you that if it is possible, all the schools can create one group, maybe a WhatsApp group for the purpose of ledger item creation and stock item creation. Try to create all the ledgers in a similar manner in all the schools. Try to create all the ledgers in a similar manner in all the schools. Say for example, Apsara pencil. One school may type pencil Apsara. Another school may type Apsara pencil. Another school may type pencil HB Apsara. So this should be uniform all over school, whatever you decide. Same way, sales. Some school may write sales account. Another school may write only sales. Another school may write D.A.V. Saadhan sales. Create uniform ledger for all the schools. So this one thing additional, you have to do it so that your uniformity is there all over the school. Whenever reporting does, it becomes easy for the HO to also compare all the data. So all the ledgers should be created uniformly. Some school may have more ledger, some school may have less ledger. That is a different thing. Some vendor ledger or sales debtor ledger may be different. But apart from that, your sales ledger, purchase ledger, expenses ledger, income ledger. Your some common ledgers should have common ledger name all over the school, including the first letter caps, full letter, everything should be in a common order. So this you need to prepare. For stock item also, same manner, name and grouping. For the ledger name also, same name and grouping. So this has to be created with proper grouping. And all the transaction up to 30th September. So till 30th September, you have prepared in Excel, I think. So that should be brought forward as a opening balance. You prepare your opening trial balance in Excel. You prepare your opening trial balance in Excel. You prepare your opening stock value in Excel with proper stock item name, stock grouping, quantity, units, measurement units, your alternate units, your value. So create that same way in the ledger accounts, create the opening balance of the ledger. What is the balance ledger grouping? Then what is the value, whether it is debit or credit. So these things you need to create. And from 1st October onwards, 1st October already transaction has been started. So 1st October onwards, you start passing the entries. You start passing the entries and it will be regularly reviewed in the HO. Regularly reviewed in the HO. Your first review is scheduled on 5th November. Right? So first review is when 5th November. Today we are 23rd October. Today's our target is only voucher entry. So today we will complete our voucher entries. So majority of our work will be over. What we have stood here, what we have come for the common purpose is for passing the voucher entry. Only reporting part will be there. That I'll take in the next class. That's not a problem. But till voucher entry, you have to complete. Reporting is automatic and you need to just get the data from Tally, right? So this is your due date. By 4th November, you have to submit it to the HO. So for assessment of this, each school should be based on Tally, master creation, group creation, ledger creation, cost center for each product. So cost center we are not taking, but the cost center here means your stock value and then the quarterly added to be submitted. So you can speak to your respective school accountant for any help, right? This is the process. Did you understand this part? Yes. What you have to do? Any doubt in this part? What you have to do with the school project? So you are getting a golden opportunity. Even after college, people don't get this opportunity practically to learn Tally. And many of them, those who are learning Tally, go in some training institute and try to learn. They impart only theoretical knowledge. They will ask you, open the book, read the transaction, pass the entry. But practical implementation, many people don't tell. Like I tell you, do this step 1, step 2, step 3. What will happen in real life? I have never learned Tally. It is only by practical experience I have learned Tally. You should have interest in doing anything. Then only you will survive in your life. Whatever you do, you should have interest. There is nothing easy, nothing hard. We only think easy and hard is only in our brains. We think, madam, it is tough. Madam, it is difficult. Nothing is easy. Nothing is tough. It is only in our brain. ABCD, is it easy? Yes. ABCD is easy or not? Very easy, sir. How many of you say it is tough? But in LKG, easy or tough? LKG, easy or tough? 1, 2, 3, 4, easy? Yes. 1 table, 2 table, 3 table, easy. First standard, tough. Why? You did not knew that, now you knew it. So difference between easy and tough is only one thing. Until and unless you don't know, everything is tough. Once you know, everything is easy. This is only the funda of life. There is nothing called tough, nothing called easy. Someone has achieved this, that means if he can do it, you can also do it. If he does not do it, then also you can do it. You should not be motivated by others. Compare yourself with others. You are unique to yourself. Never compare with anyone. Right? Okay. So any doubt till now? Have you got this overall picture of what we are going to do today? Voucher entry. Right. So now we'll go to the voucher entry. So have everyone created ledger accounts? What we have created last week? We have created stock items with the units. Everyone has opened the tally now. I'll also share the tally screen. So today's target is how to pass voucher entry. This is only one target today. So this itself is a big target. Right? So go to display. As I'm going, you also go. You can open the tally, listen, and you can do it. I'll just tell step by step. Type D. Type D. Come to gateway of tally. Come to gateway of tally. Don't type D. Come to gateway of tally and select H. Type H. That is chart of account. Type H. Chart of account. In chart of account, you can see ledger. Yes, select the ledger. Select the ledger. Type D, that is display. Type H, that is chart of accounts, and then select ledger. Select ledger. So these ledgers should be created in your tally. What are the ledgers which have been created in your tally? One is your ICICI Bank or any other bank, which should be under bank account. Check first. I'll go in the same order. No need to see my screen. You can just listen what I am telling. First is your bank account with ICICI Bank or any other bank is okay. Second is your cash in hand. Cash in hand. That is cash is the in hand is the grouping. Ledger name is cash. Then you come down further. You can see fixed asset. In fixed asset, we have created two items. One is Dell laptop, another one is furniture and fitting. If it is not there, nothing to worry. Don't get worried. Just make a note. This is in your paper that this ledger is not there. At the time of passing entry, you can also create it. Then next, come down further in liability, in reserves and supply capital account, you can see D.A.V school HO. D.A.V school HO should be created. D.A.V school HO should be created. Then come further down, come to the expenses. In the expenses, purchase account. Purchase account should be created. In expenses, purchase account should be created. In purchase account, purchase should be created. And in the sales account, sales ledger should be created. Sales ledger should be created. Is everyone having these ledgers created? Yes or no? Type yes. Type why it is created. Don't worry if anyone is not having, nothing to worry. At the time of passing entry, I'll show you how to create that also. Fine. Now come type escape. Just type escape and then come to stock item. Type escape and then come to the stock item. Select the stock item. Come out and once you type escape and come to stock item. If you have typed escape twice, then come to chart accounts and then select stock item. So in stock item, you should have totally 4 grouping of stock. We have created 4 grouping of stock. We have grouped the stock based on the stock type. That is, one is book, one is books, second is eraser, third is pencil, fourth is scale. These are the 4 group of stock. Books, eraser, pencil, scale. And in books, we have created 2 stock items. One is books 180 pages ruled. Another is books 180 pages unruled. Same way in eraser, In eraser, Apsara eraser, DOMS eraser. Same way in pencil, Apsara pencil, DOMS pencil. Same way in scale, Camlin scale 15 centimeter, Camlin scale 30 centimeter. If you want, you can just see the screen once and then toggle it. I'll give you 1 minute time to check whether you have all these stock item or not. Once it is done, type Y in the chat box. Yes, it is there. Type Y. Check. Type Y in the chat box. Fine. Very good. So now come out to the gateway of Tally. Come out to the gateway of Tally. Now we are going to pass the voucher entry. Go to voucher entry. Shortcut key for voucher entry. What is the shortcut key for voucher entry? Now come to the Zoom screen. View in the screen. Don't do anything in your Tally. First understand what I'm telling, and then you have to do. When I tell that now you can do it practically, at that time only you have to do. So come to Zoom screen. Okay. So in Zoom screen, come to see the gateway of Tally. Shortcut key is V. So voucher entry shortcut key is V. Now, what are the voucher types I have said? Can you see somewhere what is the shortcut key? In the right hand side, there are certain shortcut keys. You can see it is called as button bar. Button bar. To change the date, what is the shortcut key? To change the date, what is the shortcut key? Very good. F2 is the shortcut key. Then to change the company, what is the shortcut key? So this you will not use it when 2 or 3 companies are open. Then you want to toggle it. Then we use this F3. If I want to pass a receipt entry, what is the shortcut key? F6. So for changing the date, F2. Remember it. Try to remember every time. Try to use the shortcut key. Avoid using mouse. You will waste time. Try to use it without shortcut key. Sorry, without mouse. Okay. F6 is for receipt. And what is F10? Sorry, what is F8 for? What is F8 for? Shortcut key F8 for what purpose? Yes, very good. Sales. F8 is for sales. F7 is for what purpose? Journal. Yes. So, and payment, what is the shortcut key? Payment, what is the shortcut key? Now, why the payment shortcut key is light in color? What is the meaning of this? Is it not activated in Tally? Why payment shortcut key? Yes, we are in the payment mode. If any shortcut key is light in color, that means one, either we are in that voucher entry or it is not active, right? Very good. So payment. Now we are in the payment voucher type. So F5 is payment. F6 if you press, you will come to the receipt. F7 if you press, you can see the journal. Color is changing. You can see different colors are there. F8 you come, it will be the sales. F9 you come, it is the purchase. Then your F10 is there, that is other vouchers, that is your credit note and all other different many vouchers are there. You can see so many voucher types are there. So by default, your credit note and debit note, that is your sales return and purchase return is not activated here. But if you press F10, you can see that what is the shortcut key for your credit note and debit note? Alt F6 for credit note, Alt F5 for debit note, right? So this way you can find your other vouchers here. Okay. For in case anyone keyboard is some trouble, escape key is not working. Again, there is another shortcut key. Left hand side bottom, you can see Control plus Q. Control plus Q. So now we will understand the passing of voucher, secret of passing the voucher entries in Tally without remembering what to debit, what to credit, without remembering what to debit, what to credit. So first is your receipt and payment. First is your receipt and payment. We will understand your receipt and payment. So what is the shortcut key for receipt? F. Shortcut key for receipt. Shortcut key for receipt F6. So F6 once I press, you can see that where is the ledger selection screen, whether it is above the particulars or below the particulars. Where is the ledger selection screen, whether it is above the particulars or below the particulars. Above, yes, everyone. Now go to your tally, press F6 and see whether it is above the particulars or below the particulars. Is anyone having the ledger selection screen below the particulars? Type below, otherwise type A. Ledger selection screen, is anyone having below the particulars? Yes, above. What about others? Anyone having below the particulars? Check your tally screen. Fine, very good. So now, whenever your ledger selection is above the particulars, it is called as a single entry mode. See, don't get confused with the account single entry mode, what you learn in your accounts. See, when learning tally, don't get confused with your +2 or +1 accounts. And while learning your +2 and +1 accounts for your school, don't get confused with the tally accounts. Otherwise, you will get confused. So keep that separately. Majority of your fundamentals are from your +1 and +2 accounts. But when you do certain practical aspect, certain difference will be there. So don't incorporate that in your studies when you prepare for your exam. So this is very important. So whenever in your tally for receipt, note a note, make a note, in our tally for receipt, payment and contra, for receipt, payment and contra voucher type, if the ledger selection is above the particulars, receipt, payment and contra ledger selection above the particulars, that means you are in single entry mode of passing the entry. You are in single entry mode of passing the voucher entry. Receipt, payment, contra, you are in single entry mode of passing the voucher. If you want to go to double entry, you need not go. Just I am telling you now for your remembrance purpose, but now you should never don't do it. Otherwise, our session again 4-5 sessions it will increase. So I don't want that. We are going to pass only in single entry mode. If you want to go to double entry mode later on after your schooling are completed, you can try this. You can press F12. F12. So in F12, you can see show more configuration. Show more configuration. Yes. And here I think some changes they have made in the new tally. Now they are removing. Okay, no problem. So we'll go only in the single entry mode. One more important thing here, if you see, can you see this fifth option? In this first option is in F12. If you see, you have used debit credit instead of to buy. Choice is yours. Anything you can use. Choice is yours. Anything you can use. In some system, it may be to buy or debit credit. Whatever it is okay as per your option. We are not going to learn everything. Only important thing first is use credit debit. You have to select your choice. If you are comfortable with credit debit, okay. To and buy, okay. By default, if you want to keep, everyone keep it as no. Next part is skip date field during voucher entry. Now what is this? When I open the voucher type, Where was the selection screen? Where was the selection screen? Selection screen was the ledger account, correct? It was cash. It was showing ledger account. Now I want to change this. By default, first the date should be mentioned. Instead of ledger account, I should type the date. Then I should go to ledger account. Then you can select this, but you don't need to select. You have to keep it yes only. This is only for your information. In case by default it is going to the date screen, you want to change it to the ledger screen, you have to select skip date field for during voucher creation entry. Skip date field during voucher creation. So these two parts alone you need to take care. One, credit debit, two, buy, you have to keep it no. Skip date field during voucher entry, yes, that's it. Control A. Control A. Save it. Did you understand this part? Yes. This is only for receipt, payment and contra. Now, first what we have mentioned, receipt, payment and contra. Receipt, payment and contra. What did I say? You have to pass in the single entry mode. Now, what to debit, what to credit is the next question. What to debit, what to credit is the next question. No need to remember debit and credit here. For receipt and payment, no need to remember what to debit, what to credit. First ledger, what you are going to select. For receipt and payment, the first ledger, what you are going to select will always be either cash or bank. Will always be either cash or bank. Here you can see account. What account it is showing? It is showing only cash or bank. It is not showing all the other ledgers. So no need to worry about what to debit, what to credit. Just select whether it is a cash entry or bank entry. What is the first step? I said first step, identify the transaction. We have identified, say it is a receipt. Second step, check the date. So how to change the date? What is the shortcut key for changing the date? What is the shortcut key for changing the date? F2. F2 is the date. If you press F2, you can see the date and change the date. Now in your system, since you are using educational mode, all the dates will not be entered. You can pass entry on first of every month. First of every month and few dates. Other dates you cannot pass the entry since it is a educational mode. Next, you need to select in case of a receipt and payment. First, you need to select either it is a cash or bank. Then you need to select the other ledger. No need to remember debit, no need to remember the credit. Then you can select the other ledger. Did you understand this? Receipt and payment, you have to pass entry in what mode? Receipt, payment, contra, what mode you have to pass the entry? What mode you have to pass? Single entry or double entry mode? Single entry mode, right? First, for whenever you go to the voucher entry, first select what? First select the voucher type. Already I said identify the transaction. Then what is the voucher type? Then what is the next step? Change the date. To change the date, what is the shortcut key? F. Shortcut key for changing the date. F2. Then select what? Then what should you select for receipt and payment? First, what should you select? Receipt and payment. What is the first ledger you are going to select? It is single entry, correct? What is the first ledger you are going? Cash or bank? Then you are going to select what? Then you are going to select what? The other than cash and bank ledger. In one voucher entry, only one other ledger. Don't pass everything in one entry. Individual transaction, individual entry. Don't mix multiple transaction in multiple entry. Some people, when you ask doubt, they will say put everything in one entry itself. Don't follow that. One entry, one transaction, one entry. That's it. Okay. So this is the way you pass your receipt and payment. Same way, if you see the payment FI. So FI, same thing you can see here. This is your FI payment voucher. This is also above the particulars. This is also above the particulars. First, you will select the payment or that is bank or cash, and then only you will select the other ledger. Same way, right? Then so Payment and receipt, single entry. Second, it should be first ledger. What you are going to select is either cash or bank, then the other ledger. Did you understand this part? Type yes, type Y if you understood, type N if you're not understood. I want every one of you to answer this question. Did you understand single entry and what you have to select first? Ishikant, what you have not understood, which part you have not understood, whether fully or what? Whenever you are going to voucher entry, for receipt, payment and contra, the method you type the entry is called as single entry. How to identify whether it is single entry? When the ledger selection is above the particulars, it is single entry. Most of you will get this only. So first step is you have to, whenever you go to the voucher entry, first select the type of the voucher you are going to pass. Identify the transaction, go to voucher entry, then select the type of voucher. If it is receipt and payment, first is you need to change the date. So for changing the date, F2 is the shortcut key. Then you have to select the ledger. So first ledger, what you are going to select is first cash or bank. First ledger, what you are going to select is cash or bank. Then only your other ledger. Every journal entry will have one debit, one credit, one credit, one debit, one debit, multiple credit, one credit, multiple debit. So here, no need to confuse yourself which ledger to select first or second. Receipt and payment, cash and bank first, then the other ledger. Yes, did you understand? Yes. Fine. Now, when it comes to contra, what is the shortcut for contra? What is the shortcut key for contra? What is contra? Cash or bank to cash. When it comes to contra, yes, you should remember the golden rules. For contra, first word, select the voucher type contra. Next word, select the date. F2 is the shortcut key for date. And then, what is the first ledger you are going to select? It depends. Whether you are depositing cash in bank or you are withdrawing cash from bank. So now you should know the golden rules. What is the entry for depositing cash in bank? What is the entry for depositing cash in bank? Bank account to cash. Yes, bank account to cash. And what is the entry for withdrawing cash from bank? Very good. So here, no debit credit. So already I said no debit credit. So in contra, first ledger which you are going to select will always be the debit ledger. In contra, first ledger always which you have to select will be which ledger? Debit ledger. Next ledger will be credit ledger. This only you need to remember. In contra, first ledger, in contra and journal, both contra and journal, first ledger will always be debit ledger. Next ledger will always be the credit ledger. I am depositing cash in bank. What is the first ledger I am going to select? I am depositing cash in bank. What is the entry first? First tell me the entry. We'll go to the accounts entry. Depositing cash in bank. Tell me the entry first. Bank to cash. So which ledger should I select first? Debit ledger. What is the debit ledger here in this entry? Bank. Very good. The debit ledger is bank. I am withdrawing cash from bank. I am withdrawing cash from bank. Then what ledger? What is the entry for cash from bank? What is the ledger for cash from bank? Cash account debit to bank. So first ledger, what will I select in this contra entry? Cash. Cash is the first ledger, and then enter. Then select ICICI Bank. Did you understand this part? Just follow my instruction. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to go in detail. For your level now, follow the instruction. That is what very important. Steps, step by step, why I am giving. Somewhere you get struck. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. You will get it. Voucher type. Okay, first what should I select? Next what should I select? Receipt and payment. First cash or bank. Contra. First debit ledger. Journal. First debit ledger. Same way journal. F7. Voucher entry. See, for toggling between one voucher entry to another voucher entry, you should not go out. You should not go out and then toggle. From here, internally, once you complete the entry, press F5, press F6, press F7 and toggle. So in journal entry, what is the first ledger you are going to select? In journal entry, first ledger, what you are going to select? Debit or credit? In journal entry, first ledger is debit entry. Say, for example, I am furniture is received from D.A.V school. Furniture is received. What did I say? You will have debit or credit option. Those who don't have, by to F12 key you press. In F12 key, if you press F12 key, you can find this. Use credit debit instead of to buy. There it will be yes. There it will be yes. If you change it to no, you will get the to buy. That is why I have mentioned in the first part itself. Okay. So if we receive furniture from HO, we will pass a journal entry. Yes. So what is the entry? Furniture account debit to D.A.V. Furniture account debit to D.A.V. It is not capital, it's a specific ledger. So in school, in accounts, we select capital ledger. So here we have created the ledger D.A.V. HO. So furniture account ledger to D.A.V. So what will I first select? What is the debit ledger? Which is the debit ledger? Furniture account, 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees to what? To D.A.V. So this way you pass the entry. Okay, understood? So your debit and credit value should tally. So did you understand voucher entry, receipt, payment, contra, journal? Yes or no? Type yes if you understood why. Type yes if you understood why. Receipt, payment, contra, journal. First ledger you will select. Vaishnavi, what? No, what you did not understand? What you did not understand? Cash, receipt and payment, first ledger you are going to select is what? Cash or bank. Receipt and payment, first ledger you are going to select is either cash or bank, then the other ledger. In, I have many. Now don't go into many transactions. First, step by step you go. Step by step, first learn ABCD, then the words, then the sentence, then the paragraph. One debit, multiple credit, later on we can learn. First try to understand step by step, okay? Multiple entries I'll show you later on in the last. First try to understand the basics entry. So normally in your transaction, it will be one debit, one credit. When it comes GST, you will have one debit, multiple credit, or one credit, multiple debit. That I'll show you separately. Okay. Then, so receipt, payment, first ledger, cash or bank. In contra, first ledger, debit back ledger. Debit and the journal also first ledger, debit ledger. You have to select just to follow my instruction. Now, what are the two ledger which is mentioned pending? One is your receipt, sorry, sales and purchase. Sales and purchase. Now, what is the shortcut key for sales? Sales and purchase, shortcut key for sales, F8. F8. Now, when it comes to sales and purchase, again, your ledger selection should be above the particulars. That means you are in the invoice mode. There is two things. One is invoice mode and another one is journal entry mode. Invoice mode and journal entry mode. So I think fine. So now in Tally Prime, that in voucher entry mode is being removed. No problem. So what entry you type is in the invoice mode. So in sales, invoice mode means what? Whenever you are selling, what do you generate? Whenever you sell any goods, what do you generate? Whenever you sell any goods, what do you generate? You generate an invoice. So that is why we call it as a invoice mode, not cash memo. Whenever you are making a sales, you generate a sales invoice. You go to Big Bazaar, you buy some goods, go to the sales counter and give. What do they give? Do they give cash memo? They give a tax invoice. See, if you're an account student, whenever you go to shop outside, try to understand practically what people are giving to you. Why this is voucher? What is this voucher? What vouchers? What are the details mentioned in the voucher? Company name is mentioned, company address is mentioned, GST number is mentioned, this detail is mentioned, that details is mentioned. Try to understand that, then only practically you can learn. Right now, when you buy any goods, what do you get? When you buy any goods, again you get as an invoice. So what is that you pass? You pass a purchase invoice. You get a purchase invoice. So sales invoice, purchase invoice. So there are two types of invoice. Two types of invoice. One is item invoice. Second is accounting invoice. What is one? One is item invoice. Second is accounting invoice. Now, what is this item invoice? What is this accounting invoice? Item invoice, whenever stock item is involved, it is item invoice. So for your school, whether you are going to use item invoice or accounting invoice, whenever stock item is involved, then it is item invoice. Whenever stock item is not involved, then it is what? Accounting invoice. So for your school, Vidya Saadhan project, whether it is item invoice or accounting invoice, whether you are going to pass item invoice or accounting invoice. Now assume you are passing the entry for school fees receipt. School fees receipt, whether it is accounting invoice or item invoice. So I am a chartered accountant. I do consulting services. I raise invoice for service. Whether I will use accounting invoice or item invoice. Whether I will use accounting invoice or item invoice. Perfect. I am a computer dealer. Whether I am going to use item invoice or accounting invoice. I am a computer trader. I am item invoice. I am a computer service provider. I will use accounting invoice or item invoice. Very good. Understood? Very simple. Whenever services, accounting invoice. Whenever item product, then it is item invoice. Now, what is the difference in that? When it comes to accounting invoice, stock item will not be involved. When it comes to item invoice, stock item will be involved. This is only the difference. Understood? When it comes to item invoice, your stock item, what we have created, should be linked. Then only it will be added or reduced. In accounting invoice, no stock item, only the ledgers you have to select. Your service ledger, consultancy ledger. Okay. So first is date, that is F2. Again here, first select the voucher type, whether you are passing a sales entry or purchase entry. Then select the date. Then select the either cash, bank or party. Since party name is not created, here no cash, it is party name. If you are making a cash purchase, then select cash. If you are making a cash sales, then select cash sales. If you are making a credit sales, then you have to create the ledger. Ledger is not created, voucher entry we will see later on. First understand the fundamental. Now, whether we are in item invoice or accounting invoice, how to identify? So here particulars is mentioned below the party name. If particulars is mentioned below the party name, you are in accounting invoice. You are in accounting invoice. If particular is mentioned in the below the party name, you are in accounting invoice. So how to change to item invoice? In the right hand side, you can see change mode, Control H, type Control H, change mode and select item invoice. Select item invoice. Never use as voucher. Never use as voucher. As voucher means your debit and credit entry, like a journal entry it will be. So never use that. Use only item invoice or accounting invoice. Now, can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? Yes. So here name of the item is mentioned, quantity is mentioned, rate is mentioned. That means what? This is your item invoice. Same way F10 if I press, sorry, F10 no, F9 purchase. F9 if I press, it is what? This is your purchase. Name of the item is appearing. Control H, I am unable to change. Right hand side, can you see the change mode? On the right hand side, can you see the change mode button? Take your mouse and click on it. Take your mouse and click on it. Click on change mode. You will get it. If you are unable to press Control H and C, click on it and then try. You will get it. Okay. Select item invoice. Fine. So this is the item invoice. So in purchase, what do you have? You have your supplier invoice number, supplier, all these details you have. So these things are available in your purchase. Same way, F8 if I press, you have your sales invoice number, serial number 1. If you want your serial number to be changed, that I'll show you later on. First understand the voucher entry. Changing the voucher number will go later on. So this is what is that with the voucher entry. So in voucher entry, it is taking you to double entry or single entry. Which is the voucher type you are? Check, press F8 and then press Control H or change mode. You are in the receipt or voucher mode or contra mode. What is the mode which is available here? Whether it is sales. Check whether it is sales or not. What is the mode you are available? Which voucher type you are? See on the top whether it is sales or purchase or receipt or payment. What did I say? Where you should press? Whenever you are in sales and purchase, then only this option will come. Every screen has different option. Okay. Now press F8 and try this. You will get it. Very good. Right? So you have to be very careful whenever in accounts, which voucher entry you are, whether you are in the sales, whether you are in the purchase. That is very, very important. Then only shortcut keys will work accordingly. So till now, any doubt? Did you understand? Receipt, payment, contra, sales, purchase, journal. These are the only voucher entries. Credit note, debit note, it is similar to your sales and purchase entry. So in sales and purchase, it should be in the item invoice mode where stock will be involved. Otherwise, in all other mode, that is your cash, receipt, payment, journal, contra, stock item will never be involved. So in your receipt and payment, what is the first ledger you are going to select? Receipt and payment, what is the first ledger you are going to select? Right, fast. Last 15 minutes, we have to pass some 2-3 entries and then complete. Receipt and payment, first entry, what you are going to select? First ledger, what you are going to select? Either cash or bank. Right, then only the other ledger. In contra, first ledger, what you are going to select? In contra, first ledger, what you are going to select? Your debit ledger first. In sales, purchase, what is the first ledger you are going to select? Cash or party account. Cash or party account. In journal, first ledger, what you are going to select? Debit ledger, right? So now we will pass some entry. Shall we proceed? Is everyone understood? Type Y. Type Y in the chat box. Yes. Yes. So 4-5 entries will pass. I take time in making you understand the fundamentals. If you understand the fundamentals, the rest is very easy. Even in your school, whenever you read, what we do is we forget the fundamentals and try to learn the advanced, you will never understand. Unless and until you don't know A, B, C, D, you will never know how to form words. Unless and until you don't know how to form words, you will never know how to form sentence. Unless and until you don't know how to form sentence, you will never be able to understand how to write para. What mistake we do while we studies is directly we jump to the para. We make our fundamental weak and then try to understand the bigger things, then we don't understand. So in life, if anything is tough, any subject is tough, go to the fundamentals and then try to understand. It will become easy. This is one tip which I have learned in my life. Go to the fundamentals, go to the basic and try to learn. It will become easy. Fine. So now we will pass certain entry. Just to follow me, some 4 or 5 entries we will pass. Last 10 minutes is there. Then you can try to pass some entries. Take your accounts book, final accounts book, where they are giving a lot of entries to you. Create one company, type certain entries, and then you can see it. So one few entries will go. So one by one, step by step, follow me. You can open your tally screen, listen to what I'm doing. I will tell step by step what to do, follow the same. Go to voucher entry. Are you in the tally screen? Type Y. Type Y if you are in the tally screen. Yes, just listen to me. In gateway of tally, you should be in gateway of tally. Type V and go to voucher entry. Type V and go to voucher entry. So first entry, amount received from HO. That is normally in accounts what we learn, amount invested in business by the proprietor 10,000 rupees. So now HO is giving you say a 10,000 rupees to start this Vidya Saadhan product. So amount received from HO on 1st April. 1st April you have received from HO 10,000 rupees. First step. What is first step? What is first step? Identifying the transaction. What is the transaction? Identify the transaction. What is the type of transaction? Amount received from HO. What is the type of transaction? I am asking you type of the voucher. I am not asking you the ledger. What is the entry? I am asking you what is the voucher. First step what you need to check is see the ledger, identify the transaction. What is the voucher type? Voucher type is receipt. Yes. So for receipt, what is the shortcut key? Go to voucher entry. We are in the voucher entry. What is the shortcut key for receipt? F6. Press F6. Everyone now press F6. Press F6. Yes. So everyone is in the F6. Now step 2. What did I say? Change the date. What is the date? Step 1, identify the transaction. Then step 2, the voucher type you need to select. What is the voucher type we have selected? That is a receipt. Then step 3 is what is your date, how to change your date. What is the date of voucher entry? What is the date of voucher entry? 1/4. So press F2. Press F2, change the date to 1/4. Now when it comes to date, I'll give you some tips. Don't need to type full date. If you are in the April month, I am in which month? April, 2nd April. F2 and just type 1. It will come to the April month one. Or space 4, 1st April. Or space 22. That's it. Hyphen, dot, slash also you can give. So 1/4 you type. Press F2, change the date to 1/4. Has everyone done? Type Y. Once you change the date, type Y. You should be in the receipt mode F6. Receipt mode F6 and change the date. Yes. Now, what is the ledger I should select now? What is the ledger I should select now? First ledger, what should I select? What is the transaction? Amount received from HO 10,000 rupees. First ledger, what should I select? Cash. So type cash, CASH or CA, you will get it. And then press enter. Then press enter. What is the next ledger? What I should select? What is the next ledger? Type cash in the account. D.A.V school, HO. D.A.V school, HO. What is the amount you are going to type? Amount we are going to type. Amount, how much amount you are going to type? 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees. So step 1, identify the transaction. Step 2, select the voucher type. Step 3, the date. Step 4, pass the voucher entry. Step 5, what is step 5? 10,000 rupees. Now someone is asking, sir, if I am making multiple payment, multiple receipt, then select the next ledger here. But don't do now. One entry, one debit, one credit. Don't do now, just for information. Just select enter and then come to narration. Twice enter and then come to narration. Type the narration. Amount received from HO towards Vidya Saadhan project. Yes. So every transaction you have to give your narration. Every transaction you have to give your narration. So amount received from Vidya Saadhan HO. Okay. And enter. Has everyone passed this entry? Has everyone passed this entry? Yes or no? Type Y. Type Y once you have passed it. Amount received from Vidya Saadhan towards the project. Type Y. Fine. Another entry. One entry we will learn today. Again in next class, many entries we will see. Next entry, say assume that you are making a purchase. You are making a purchase. What entry? What is the first purchase? Purchase on same 1st April only. Our date will be same. What is the first thing? Identify the transaction. Next, what should I do? Step 2. What is the voucher type? I should have shortcut for voucher type. I am going to make a purchase. F9. F9. Come to F9. In F9, when you make a purchase, you have an invoice. You have your invoice. Type the invoice number. Some invoice number 123. F9 you have to purchase. Then the date, that is date of the invoice. In the invoice there will be date, that is 1/4, 1st April. Then the party name. Then the party name. So if you are making a credit purchase, then you have to create a ledger. Now we will pass only cash entry. Next class we will see about the credit entry. So I made a cash purchase. So what will I select? Select cash. In party name, select cash. Now say for example, you have purchased from Gotham Stationery. You can type the name. In supplier bill name, bill from Gotham. Right? So Gotham Stationery, new name you can select. Address and all not required. Just enter and save it. So what did I do is, first I have selected cash ledger. You should also select cash ledger. Then it will ask the party details. So supplier details I have created Gotham Stationery. So create some name and then enter and save it. Then your purchase ledger. Select purchase ledger. Already we have created purchase ledger. Select purchase ledger. Then your stock item. Say I am purchasing pencil. I am purchasing Apsara pencil. So Apsara pencil HB. Select Apsara, type Apsara pencil HB and then enter. Apsara pencil, enter. Now we have created box and unit, right? We have created box and unit, multiple units we have created. Now while passing the entry, when you make a purchase entry, it will be in box. Say 10 box you have purchased. 10 box you have purchased. So type 10. 10 and for box, what is the code we have given? BX. 10 BX. That means for box we have given a short unit BX and then enter. What happened? Type 10 space BX and then enter. It has become 100. Why 100? We have given alternate unit. One box equal to 10 quantity. One box equal to 10 quantity. So what is the rate? If you are unable to identify individual unit rate, nothing in your bill, your rate will be there for total 10 box. For total 10 box, the rate will be there. Assume that 200 rupees. 200 rupees. One box is 20 rupees. So 100 pencil. Assume it is 200 rupees and then press enter. Automatically, you will get the rate. This is your purchase quantity. So everyone, did you select pencil, Apsara pencil? quantity 10 BX, automatically it will come to 100, or you just type 100, automatically box will be calculated. Rate, if you know, you can type 2, or else in the amount you can just type 2. If you have done, type Y. If you have not understood, type N. Everyone selected the first stock item. Now you are able to understand, once you select purchase, then only stock item will come. But in the same thing, receipt entry, stock item did not come. Fine. Next item, say we are purchasing eraser. Eraser, Dome's eraser we are purchasing. So Dome's eraser. Dome's eraser. Say I am purchasing again 10 box. Dome's eraser 10 space BX. Enter. So automatically it has come to 200 quantity. So in one box 20 pieces are there. So I don't want to know the individual rate. No problem. Just press enter and assume that it is 300 rupees. 300 rupees. That means 30 rupees one box. So 1 rupee 50 paise. So as everyone entered Dome's eraser, 200 quantity or 10 box, 150 rupees per pencil, per eraser, 300 rupees. Yes, did you get? Type Y once you are done. Type Y once you are done. Yes, very good. Enter, 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 enter. That's it. Or to save, Control A. Once you are done, save it. Control A is the shortcut key, or enter, 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 enter. So now we go to the sales. One sale entry will pass. Sorry, narration you have to type. You can press page up. You can press page up and type the narration. Type page up. This entry you will get in your keyboard. Page up is there. Type the narration. Purchase from Gautam Stationery, wide invoice number 123, dated. Purchase from Gautam Stationery, wide invoice number, date number 123, dated 1/4/22. Yes. Enter and then enter. Page up, provide the narration. Purchase from so and so company, invoice number, date. Now we will pass one sales entry. So 10:30 time is, so last one sales entry, one payment entry. Page up not coming, no problem. Next class we will see. Now continue with the next entry. Later on I'll show you how to change it. Come to the sales entry, F8. F8, press F8, press F8. Now we are making a sales entry, cash sales entry. Cash sales entry, select cash. Date is 1/4 only because we are in educational mode. Cash. So cash. So here if you want to type a name, you can select a name. Say you are going to, or if you don't want the name, don't type the name. Just select cash. If you want to type the name, you can type. Say Suresh. You want to class 11th standard. 11A, if you want to type the name. So Suresh, 11A you can create. Otherwise, you can select cash. Anything is okay. Then select the sales ledger. Selected the cash, provide the name or select cash, and then select the sales ledger. Select the sales ledger and then the name of the item. Say you are selling Apsara pencil. We have purchased Apsara pencil. Select Apsara pencil. Apsara pencil, how many quantity we have? 100 quantity. Say he's buying 4 pencil, not box, only 4 pencil. So type 4 pencil. Type 4 pencil. Then rate. Assume that you are selling 1 pencil for 3 rupees. Our cost was 2 rupees. You are selling for 3 rupees. Then 12 rupees. Right? So cash, select the party name, either the student name or the cash ledger. Then select the sales ledger, then select the stock item, Apsara pencil, and then the amount is 12 rupees. Then enter, 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 provide the narration. Provide the narration. Sales to Suresh. Then enter and enter. That's it. So did you try this sales entry? Done? Anyone having any difficulty? Sales entry, type Y once you have done it. Anyone facing difficulty? Right. So with this, we complete today's session. Payment entry, how we have passed receipt entry. Similar way, you can try payment entry. In the next class, it will take only 1.5 hours. Voucher entries only. So next class, voucher entry. So now homework for you. Try to create a company. Take anyone accounts, final accounts book. Try to create some entry. Try to create some ledger with opening balance. Try to pass the entries. Now you know how to pass the entries. In this also, try to create your entries. You know, purchase entries, sales entries, payment entries, what you do. Try to create and try to do this. So today we have learned about the voucher entry. In voucher entry, what we have seen is that while passing voucher entry, no need to remember the accounting rules, just to follow what I am telling. In case of receipt, payment, contra, the ledger selection should be above the particulars. In case of receipt and payment, what you need to see is first you need to select the cash or the bank ledger. First, you need to see the cash or the bank ledger first. Then you need to select the other ledger. In case of contra and journal, debit ledger first. In case of sales and purchase, it should be in the item invoice. It should be in the item invoice. First, you need to select either cash, bank, or party ledger. Then the sales or purchase ledger. Then the stock item ledger, stock quantity, rate, and the value. So this way you can see it. So then this way you can pass the entries for sales, purchase, payment, receipt, and contra. So what is the steps for passing the voucher entry? First step, identify the transaction. Second step is your select the voucher type. Go to voucher type, voucher, and then select the voucher type. Third step is your passing of your voucher entry. Sorry. First step is your identify the transaction. Second step, select the voucher type. Third step, select the date. Fourth step, select the ledgers, provide the amount. Fifth step, provide the narration. Sixth step, save the data. So these are all the steps involved. So Adesh has asked me, sir, how can I see the profit? You go to Gateway of Tally. If you have passed this entry and go to profit and loss account, you will find your profit. Gross profit is 4 rupees. Gross profit is 4 rupees. 4 pencil you have sold, 1 rupee profit for each pencil. Your gross profit is 4 rupees. To expand Alt and F1. If you have laptop, function key, Alt key, F1 key. Right? So any doubt you have, you can ask me or we'll close the session today. Any doubt? Did you understand? Type Y. If you understood what you have taken today, type Y. Okay, very good. So thank you very much. Try this week homework, create a company, take some accounts, final accounts, try to create, pass the entry, explore it. See, when you use it practically and when you use it theoretically, there is some difference. Don't get confused. That is very, very important aspect. Otherwise, you will neither understand the theoretical part nor you will understand the practical part. So this is very important for you, right? In exams, what is taken in theory, that is only you have to write. When you do for Vidya Saadhan, some minor difference are there, but then too we get confused sometimes. Okay. So now any doubt or else we will close the session.